Hey there guys, Saints Knight here. Welcome you guys back to the channel here with another movie review. And why are you doing that?
I read somewhere smiles make people more open and likable.
What? What? You're trying to get the like ratings? Might get a few dislikes. But anyways, if you couldn't tell, we are having another movie review. If you couldn't tell right back there, and today's film we are going to be reviewing for you today is Wabam! Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Or
Thank you for saying it right. Pisses me off. It's not Grindelwald, it's Grindelwald.
yes, it's
Grindelwald.
true. Now, I know a lot of people in the comments are actually going to hate on this, so you actually tell them what they could do with the comments that of hate.
If the only reason you're commenting is to leave a dislike, you can type out that dislike, then shove it up your own ass and fuck yourself with it.
Or
And have a nice day.
or about a cadaver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Abadakadabra.
And okay, so with all that, as in all our reviews, there will be no spoilers.
I can't believe he dies at the end, don't you?
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
But anyways, so that means anyone who wants to watch it can go in unspoiled. And if you agree with our opinions, then good.
I can't believe blank died at the blank part of the film.
I know, right? Talk about a blanky ending.
I know, it's so blank.
Anyway, if you agree with our opinion, good. If you don't, also good. This is just our opinion. So
Yeah, so don't take our word for it. We're just voicing our thoughts on the film.
yeah, so
Like, me and him, we will have differing thoughts on different subjects. You've probably been watching his Doctor Who reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and I disagree with a lot of what he says. And I do plan on next time giving my own thoughts on the previous episodes. Because where Paul here has his views, I like to express mine for
Opinions that
yeah, that
my opinions that actually forced me to actually get rid of the Rosa Parks review in fear of actually having this this channel shut down.
yeah, because
Go on.
he doesn't want to seem offensive. But I'm an open book, so I can be offensive and
Yes.
still be hated and not cared.
Actually, you know what? Let's just dive into the review then. So
Loved the film. I absolutely loved it. It was slow in the middle. No,
at
it
the
was
start.
slow at the beginning,
Mm.
but everything else was brilliant. I thought the effects were on point.
Yeah,
I
the-
liked
the effects were really good,
the
especially with
villain
the magic.
is what captivated me because it is about the villain. It's the crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah, I mean, it's really more. Well, I would say it was his story, but he shares a lot of the screen time. But it's more the main characters that the
I don't.
story is supposed to be.
The first one's main character is definitely Newt Scamander.
Yeah.
The second one focuses more on Grindelwald.
Mm.
I still want to have. I want to know in the third one. I hope they expand on more of Grindelwald and Dumbledore's relationship.
Well, you might actually get to because there's going to be 5 of these.
I know. I heard.
I mean,
See,
should there be 5?
well, the first two take place in the 20s.
Yeah.
Grindelwald was defeated in 44 or 45.
Or whatever. And
So there's another 20 years worth of material to go through with Grindelwald's army of the Inferi, which were discovered in the caverns in Half-Blood Prince when Dumbledore does the whole flaming thing.
Mm.
When they're getting the Locklet, that is Inferi. They are basically like an undead army that he uses in World War II.
Yeah.
He is more powerful than Voldemort, but
Well,
he
I
didn't.
mean, definitely. Well, I mean,
He doesn't. Where he gets it, his loyalty is not through fear; it's through inspiration.
yeah,
He's
it's
a politician,
he's like-
not a warrior.
a lot of people I've seen on the internet have actually compared him a little bit to Adolf Hitler because he's playing off people's fears, which is what Hitler did for the majority of like how he became chancellor and all that.
That's true. There is a lot of fascism. It's a big part of the film. It's a very, I would say, Crimes of Grindelwald is very in depth with wizardry politics than
Yeah.
the others.
As well as that, this is actually probably one of the most darker of the like wizarding movies since probably Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah, definitely
Part two
Part two
wasn't-
was more happy. And yeah, part two there's a lot of death, but you knew people were gonna die because
Yeah.
the way it was going. Whereas Deathly Hallows Part One's ending was the whole film is tragic. Like it's one
People
like them
still
in the
cry about it.
woods. It's just depressing.
Them
And
in the
then-
Woods, they just copied Sherlock.
I
Oh,
thought,
Sherlock
in my
copied.
opinion, the darkest is Half-Blood Prince, because in my opinion, Half-Blood Prince is the most depressing of the lot.
Prisoner of Azkaban comes close.
I love Azkaban. I thought it was one of the best.
I mean, darkness. Comes close to being dark. Either that or maybe Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix is depressing. And
Ever since David Yates took over, it's been dark. Who actually directed this one as well.
Now, I know a lot of people. This is the lowest scored one.
I think I saw 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's the lowest scored and the lowest box office debut.
I mean, I kind of get why.
It's not a Harry Potter film. People, it's the same thing with the Star Wars, like the Han Solo and Rogue One. They're not Star Wars films.
Oh, Solo was shit because of different reasons.
I enjoy. I really like Solo.
If you want to know what we think about Solo,
Watch the Solo.
I'll
review.
leave a link in the description down below for that. But
But
this
a
film,
lot of people are giving us a lot of hate, and
to be fair, it's not perfect. I mean, what film is?
God of War Part One.
And then you see, it's close, but it's not really perfect. It does have some
Usual Suspects.
Kevin Spacey.
That's the problem. Like that's. I'm glad you said his name because that's the problem. People are, I think, are going in with the film. A lot of hate.
Yeah, we have to address the controversy of Johnny Depp.
But where people need to separate the art from the person.
Yeah.
Like, a fella's a great actor, and if he did what he's accused of doing, he's a horrible person.
If
But,
you guys have
like,
actually
Kevin
seen my House of
Spacey
Cards review,
is probably one of the most horrible people in Hollywood, and that does not that should not discriminate the fact that he is one of the best actors. You can distance the person from the character,
Yeah.
like from Kaiser Soze, the Frank Underwood. These are great characters, but because of what's come out, people don't want to associate with these characters anymore.
they
don't
just
wanna-
associate it like with the actor behind it.
Yeah, like Victor Salva, who directs the Jeepers Creepers franchise,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people boycotted his third film because
Of like recent allegations, wasn't it?
not recent. It just came out that he was in jail in the 70s for being a paedophile.
That's like
But-
like me boycotting Matthew Broderick movies for that incident in Northern Ireland that
Yeah,
happened
but
several.
there's a murder. I would rather trust a murderer than a paedophile.
I guess.
That's why do you think paedophiles don't like going to prison? The murderers murder them.
Yeah, true. Although, if you actually want to know what I think about the whole Kevin Spacey sort of thing, just watch my House of Cards review.
So Depp, everybody's a lot of people against Depp. My personal opinion, if he did it, it's terrible. But I personally do not believe he did it. I could be wrong, and if it ever comes out that I am
and
wrong,
if he is wrong, comment down below. Because we want to hear
we
it.
don't know yet.
Yeah, if it ever does, by the time this comes out.
But I will personally apologize for not believing Amber Heard. But my personal opinion is
Amber Heard's a nut job.
She's a nutcase.
She went out with Elon Musk, for God's sake.
That has to, not to mention she's known to be quite the diva, and she took a shite in his bed, Johnny Depp's bed.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? We're kind of losing track here. It's supposed to be about Crimes of Grindelwald.
The
But
best
then again-
Easter egg of the film is when Grindelwald throws his wee pet fruit away.
Yeah, that is quite good.
I'm pretty sure that pet was named after Amber Heard's dog.
Yeah. The film, I will say that, like, for people who haven't watched the Harry Potter films and Fantastic Beasts films, don't watch it. Don't watch this. Because if you haven't watched it,
You have to be. It's a lore film. It's for
you
people-
have to know.
It's more of a fan service. The movie is.
Yeah, you have to know the movies in order to actually do it. So, what I would say is, if you want to watch this one, watch at least the first Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch the Harry Potter movies, just Fantastic Beasts. A problem that I have with it is, for a film called Fantastic Beasts, there was barely any beasts.
Well, it's only called Fantastic Beasts, not because of the beast, but because of who's the main character is Newt Scamander, who wrote the Fantastic Beasts book.
True, but you would like some beasts in there. I mean, what we got, they felt a little bit they felt like plot devices to advance the plot for me a little bit, like the wee Chinese dragon sort of one. It was used like the one in the circus. I think it was that the.
I wouldn't call it a dragon.
It was a Chinese New Year dragon-like thing.
I guess.
But the last confrontation with Grindelwald, probably one of the best wizard scenes in a Harry Potter / Fantastic
It's a
Beasts film
duel
ever.
with the Maleficent dragons. I call them Maleficent. They're like blue fiery spell dragons.
Yeah, pretty much, except Maleficent wasn't blue, she was black.
Yeah. But the look just reminded me of Maleficent Dragon, and I actually enjoyed. I wasn't sure I would enjoy Nagini's character and Nicola Flamel. I did.
Flamel, I mean, you obviously could tell that he was going to be like a comic relief from, well, a little bit comic relief, a little bit kooky from the trailers, and you get that in the entire film as well.
I love Jude Law's performance. So
Jude Law, I mean, you guys know me, I'm a Dumbledore fan, obviously. And I will admit, I did have hesitations about Jude Law because he
But
did not
what
look
I
like
liked,
convincing.
he did not. It also like if you look at Dumbledore
Hmm.
in when they go do the flashback in Half-Blood Prince, it's just Michael Gambon wearing a suit with a long brown beard.
Which, honestly, I always felt a bit off. Gandalf with a wee burnt beard.
Oh, because he was younger.
True.
Jude Law, what I like is he keeps acting to the character. He's not too action. He's more behind the scenes. He's got that twinkle in his eye.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jude Law is a good actor.
Terrible boyfriend.
True. Then again, so Sean Penn.
Yeah, but Sean Penn's a nutcase.
Everyone in Hollywood's a nutcase.
Hollywood's a nutcase.
Let's see, what other things do I have in here? A lot of the good stuff in this film sadly went a little bit underused, I think.
Yes.
They could have used
the magic, the beasts.
the magic, the beasts, and a lot of the like story bits that were really good. But
There were a lot of I would have cut out. I think
there was a lot of unnecessary plot points that
Well,
don't really lead anywhere.
I think Jacob and Queenie's storyline was unnecessary.
Well, I
thought
mean, Queenie's.
the only reason
Yes,
the reason
Jacob's no.
Newt the only reason Newt was going there was not because of Grindelwald or Credence, but
It's because of
Tina. That's a terrible plot point in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Credence is supposed to be like one of the most powerful people.
Because he's an Obscurus, and Obscurus naturally is powerful. They're creatures that has never had to use their magic is completely unused. Because like, imagine you're building up pressure and then the valve goes off.
Yeah,
And that's what creates an Obscurus. It's a creature that has been abused and neglected, and
it draws its power. It feeds off the like the torment, the abuse.
it's a parasite onto Credence himself.
Yeah.
But it will kill him slowly.
Actually, one final thing that I didn't like is you may disagree with it or not, the ending. It felt a little bit lackluster to me. It didn't feel.
All the Harry Potter endings have been really like.
Deathly Hallows Part 1. It had a really good ending.
It's the only one with a good ending because the ending.
Goblet, fire.
What he gets on a train and goes home. That's how they all.
Honestly, Goblet of Fire should have ended whenever like Harry and Cedric Diggory just got out of the beast.
What? But no, it has to. The Harry Potter films follow school years, so he goes home and then the next one starts.
I suppose, but then again, the Fantastic Beasts one ending was okay enough.
That's because he goes home and he writes his book.
You just go. Oh,
He does. He gets on the boat to England.
he's on. I checked this. He actually gets on the boat to Paris. Yeah.
Oh, well, you had to get to Paris to get to England.
Not really.
The Channel.
No, you
The
could.
Chanel.
You could take the train. Anyway.
Train from America.
Yes, underwater train. Hey, it's the Wizarding World. Anything can happen. If dragons could become horses, then I don't know what. The carriage.
Frestrals?
They're dragons.
They're not dragons.
They look like dragons. If they look like dragons.
Frestrals do not look like dragons. They can only be seen by people who have witnessed death firsthand. They are basically the Grim Reaper's horse. Imagine Pegasus if he decayed.
It's actually a good point. Wait, how long is this actually? 14 minutes. Wow. So, anything else you want to talk about, or do you want
I just think the film could have been shortened.
Yeah,
I think there was many plot points.
I think this was
The
about-
best parts of the film were the political points. I like the Hogwarts flashbacks. I think they should have expanded more on certain characters.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the
Like-
strangers could have got a little.
There's a whole baby story back there that I thought was completely unnecessary. The whole who's the parents, who's the parents, who's the
No,
parents.
no, the whole mystery of who is Credence.
It could have been done better.
It could have been done better.
I
What
like-
we got so far.
But the whole, and I'm positive, I swear, that was the Titanic.
Actually, you know what?
That ship that went down, there's a whole ship sequence, and they're all in lifeboats and swimming show first, but it doesn't show you the name of the ship or anything. But if you had, that takes place in 1926. Let's say what age Credence says, he's about, what, 20, 21 now?
Or a little bit
Like-
older, given it's like a year or two after
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts one.
It could have been, I think he may have been maybe 17 at the first one.
Anyway.
1912 Titanic sinks. I swear that ship sinking is Titanic.
Actually, you know what?
Why the fuck do wizards need to take a boat to America when they can fucking evaporate?
Operate everywhere.
Operate everywhere? I mean, seriously.
And I want to actually address something, one final thing. A lot of people are actually going to type in the comments, "Ooh, why did the people operate into Hogwarts? Dumbledore put up a spell that you can't operate in Hogwarts." First of all, he said that in 1947, so people would have actually been able to operate. For God's sake.
Yeah.
It's people who don't even read the fucking Potter.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to get the final verdicts?
He's a Hufflepuff.
Yes, I am.
He's a
Right, stop.
pansy.
Hey, I'm the same as Newt, okay?
Ravenclaw. You gotta learn to love good. We've got
Actually-
knowledge.
actually, you know
the
what?
smart ones.
You know what? Even my sister actually says I'm not a Hufflepuff. Like, I don't act or behave like a Hufflepuff because I'm actually smart. No offense to anyone who's actually Hufflepuff out there.
See, terrible Hufflepuff. Oh, Hufflepuff is all about loyalty. This fella, this is his own house. Us Ravenclaws, we gotta stick together.
You know what? Let's bring up the final verdicts. What would you give?
7 out of 10.
You give it a 7 out of 10. Mine's, I mean, it's kind of a tough one for me, really.
Could
But
have been better, but the
It
bits
could've
that were
been-
good were great.
the bits that were good weren't used enough
Yes.
for me.
I think
And for that,
more Grindelwald, more dueling, more background, and I wish they'd shown a little more of McGonagall.
now you see, this I'm going to nitpick.
Why? Because she's Scottish?
No, because she shouldn't have been born.
Should she not?
No,
Uh,
she should have been born at about like 1940s, 1950, like late 1940s,
she would have been too young then?
or at least.
No, because if you were to do that, look, Harry Potter takes place in the 90s.
But she's not even that old when we hit Philosopher's
98
Stone.
is literally when it ends. She's in her 70s.
To be fair, it's not. She wasn't really that old in Philosopher's
I mean,
Stone.
Dumbledore's about 130 if I remember correctly.
Nicholas Flamel is. Then again, if Nicholas Flamel can prove anything is possible.
So I think you might be wrong, but comment down in case
Yeah.
that we are. I'm wrong or he's wrong.
But this film, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's. I was torn in my head, like if I was gonna do 5 or 6, but
Yeah,
the ending, the beast being underused, the good assets not being good, and many of the plot points going absolutely nowhere is what drags it down to 5 for me at least. Were you trying to get 5? Anyway, so those are our thoughts on Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. What did you guys think? Whatever your thoughts, whatever your opinions, we encourage you to leave them in the comments.
Any dislikers get thrown in Numangad.
Yes, and apart from that, I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank Gaylord for actually gracing us with his presence.
Sorry, I've got a heavy schedule up in Hollywood, which is a place in Belfast.
Yes, Hollywood Road. Afraid that's all the time we got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, and peace.
We're gonna disappear like magic.